School tech. We all know what it is. If you've been to school in the last 20 years, chances are you had a laptop, or if you're especially young, maybe a tablet. Either way, it's something that we all have memories of, and it could create some really fun and unexpected moments. Chromebooks. Can we please all agree that these things were just terrible? The ones in my school, anyway, were the really old ones that had 2-inch bezels at the end of the screen and were so completely locked down and monitored to the point where even the no internet Chrome dinosaur game was blocked. What kind of sadist does that? Maybe this wasn't a thing in every school, but in mine, we didn't own the Chromebooks or take them home or anything. They were just kept in a big trolley that was moved around the classrooms, and since we were using different ones in every class, it meant we just had to spend 10 minutes logging in and verifying our accounts before we could actually even do whatever the teacher said. And since the building's Wi Fi blocked any game websites, some people, specifically those at the back of the class far away from what the teacher could see, would just use their phone hotspots. And since the teachers cared exactly 0%, they would just do absolutely whatever they wanted on their Chromebook. Headphones. I know headphones aren't technically school tech, but if your school was anything like mine, they were just everywhere. They were literally the bane of the teachers' lives. Most classes, people would try to just sit at the back of the class with small earphones in. Your life was even easier if you had either a hat or long hair, because then the headphones weren't even visible. There were lots of ways the teachers started to use to try and get people to stop wearing headphones. Like they'd go around the class at the start and collect everyone's headphones in a big bucket, but sometimes they went a bit further. Like I had this one French teacher who, whenever she saw you wearing headphones, she'd walk down the class, pull them out of your ears, put them in hers, and try to tell you off about what you were listening to. She only did this to me once, but when she gave me the earphones back at the end of the day, they were covered in more earwax than I had ever seen in one place. So that was fairly bad. And if any teacher reported you wearing headphones to the office, they would be taken for a week. And an entire week of having hour-long bus journeys every morning and afternoon, having to listen to nothing but the engine and other people talking, was rough. School desktops. Alright, these were nowhere near as bad as the Chromebooks. They were usually less heavily locked down and monitored, and you could access basically whatever you wanted, and even install things on some of them. That would have been great if it wasn't for the fact that every single one of these things was completely and utterly ruined. Not just because they are most likely decades old, but because some idiots in the class went around installing viruses on them. Like they'd look up something along the lines of free Minecraft no virus, and then go to page 15 of Internet Explorer and install the worst virus they could possibly find. Some of these things were completely destroyed. Like I remember once someone managed to get the infamous "You Are an Idiot" virus on one of the school desktops. Which, for anyone who doesn't know, looks like this. And the school was supposed to have an IT technician that dealt with these sorts of situations, but they were either completely overwhelmed or totally unqualified. In my school, anyway, the technician was literally just the science teacher, and she was both overwhelmed and unqualified. The other thing that always comes to mind when I think of the school computers is the mice and keyboards. Just like the computers themselves, they were probably donated by some business, and the worst part is that they were always literally crusted in every type of dirt you can imagine. Think about the dirt that hundreds of teenagers who haven't washed their hands in days would leave on these keyboards. And they barely worked too. Sometimes a key would just get stuck in the down position, and the only thing you could do was go to get another keyboard. I still stand by what I said though. I had a lot of fun with the PCs in the school computer room. Like once, my friend brought in a copy of Halo 2 on a USB drive, and since the game was so old and the spec requirement was so low, it ran really well. And before you knew it, half the class was playing Halo together in a LAN party. Phones. This is another one that obviously isn't technically school tech, but you really couldn't leave this one out in a video about school tech. Every school, no, every teacher had a different way of dealing with them. There were the teachers that quite literally didn't care, or the ones that ran their classes like a boot camp and would either take your phone immediately after noticing you using it, or would literally take it from you the second you walked into the classroom. Where I went to school, the phone rule was really strict. If you got caught with your phone by a teacher and they reported it to the principal or vice principal, your phone would be locked in the office for an entire week. I wish I was joking, And like I said, the same was true for headphones. I never had my phone taken, but I knew people who did. Also, please tell me what the rules about phones were in your school, because I'm actually really curious about what it's like in other schools and countries. And that about does it. I am considering making a part 2, so please tell me anything you think I should cover then. Before I go, I am going on holiday for the week, so don't expect another video for the next 10 days or so. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.